Today I'm going to install this GE profile dishwasher into this space. It comes with the drain tube, but I needed to buy the hot water connector tube. This is a new installation, so if you're replacing your dishwasher, you'll probably have all the necessary hoses to install the new one. Being that these are new cabinets, the first thing I'm going to do is drill a couple of holes in this corner of the cabinet so that I can access the drain and hot water. I'm going to use a 1-inch spade bit and drill 2 holes. You could also use a hole saw that's big enough to run both of the hoses through. I'm going to drill from the inside of the cabinet. I'm doing this because if I drill from the other side, as the bit comes through, it will tear up the finish on the inside of the cabinet. If I drill through from the inside, it won't do that. I've finished drilling the holes for the water lines. The next step is to attach the power cord to the dishwasher. This dishwasher installation has a receptacle that the dishwasher plugs into. Sometimes the dishwashers are just hardwired into the electrical lines of the house. In this case, I needed to get a cord to hook up to the dishwasher. So I will attach this cord to the electrical service of the dishwasher with these wire nuts. If you have this type of installation, the cords are sold separately, so you either need to reuse the cord from the previous dishwasher or buy one when you buy the dishwasher. Okay, and there's a metal cover that goes over these, and I will run this cord through the back. I've got my power cord attached and it's coming out the back of the dishwasher. The next step is to get the hot water supply line ready. I got my hot water supply line out of the package. With this supply line, a brass elbow was included. The brass elbow needs to be installed onto the dishwasher itself. This is the water inlet right here. So I need to apply some thread sealant or Teflon tape to the brass elbow, and then I can install it onto the dishwasher. So I will put some Teflon tape onto the fitting. Next I will thread the elbow into the dishwasher supply fitting. I've turned the dishwasher on its side so that I can access this fitting more easily. So I will tighten this down. And I want it pointing toward the rear, like that. This fitting needs to be fairly tight. The next step is to attach the hot water line to the elbow, And this does not need to be very tight because it's just a rubber washer that seals the hot water line to the elbow. You may have a copper tube with a flare fitting that you attach. That's different. That would need to be tightened pretty tightly, but this doesn't need to be very tight. It is just snug, whatever that is. I'd say right there. I'm going to attach the drain line to the water outlet of the dishwasher. It just slips on to the outlet. After the outlet tube is connected, a hose clamp needs to be installed and tightened down. I've tipped the dishwasher upright again, and the next step is to adjust the counterbalance of the door. Instruction manual says that when I open up the door and let go, it should not fall down or come back. So I think that's good. We'll leave the counterbalance alone. If it did need to be adjusted on this model, you just adjust the tension on the spring by moving the spring into one of these holes in this cable. But I will leave it alone because it looks good to me. The drain line, hot water line, and electrical service are attached to the dishwasher, and I've maneuvered the dishwasher close to the area where it needs to be installed. The next step is to feed the tubes through the holes that I drilled earlier. So I'll put the drain hose through here and the hot water line. And I can also plug in the power cord. One note, modern building codes do not allow the receptacle to be in the same area that the dishwasher is in because you're supposed to have access to it. This house was built in 1977, so this is how it was done then, and I just haven't changed it. So if you're doing new construction, it's important to have the receptacle in one of the adjacent cabinets so that if you need to unplug the dishwasher, you can. I will now move the dishwasher into its final resting place. I need to move it little by little and continue pulling the service lines through the cabinets. It's important to make sure nothing gets tied in a knot or kinked. When I'm sliding the dishwasher, I'm trying to keep weight off of the feet so that it doesn't scratch the floor. You could also put a non-scratch membrane between the feet and the floor, like a piece of cardboard or plastic or something. I've now got the dishwasher pushed into its space. The next step is to level it. Looking down this side, looks like it needs to be tilted, the top needs to be tilted to the left a little bit. So to do that, I will use these threaded feet. There's one on each side, and I'll raise this side to make it level and straight with the cabinets. I'm using a scrap piece of wood and a screwdriver so that I can get the screwdriver under the frame of the dishwasher, and then I can push up on the frame of the dishwasher to allow adjustment of the little feet. So now that that's raised up, I can lower this one, and I'll lower the back one as well. And looking at the cabinet gap, looks pretty good. The other side, looks like it's not quite centered. Looks pretty good on the other side too. Now that the dishwasher is level side to side, I need to level it front to back. As you can see, the top sticks out farther from the cabinet than the bottom, so I need to tilt it back this way. So I will lower the rear of the dishwasher by turning the little tabs. I will try to adjust both sides the same amount so that it doesn't lose its side to side level. I have the adjustment front to back so that the dishwasher is level, and the side to side is also still level. So the next step is to secure it to the cabinets. Now I have the washer positioned how I want it in the opening. The front is flush with the cabinets, and it's also centered in the opening. This can be attached to the cabinets in one of two ways, either through the top into this plywood, or I can remove these plugs and put some screws into the side of the cabinet. Since I have access to this plywood, I'm going to use some short screws and attach it in that manner. Now that the dishwasher is installed, it's time to move to the adjacent cabinet and connect the drain and hot water supply lines. The drain connects to this fitting right here, which goes to the main drain of the sink. If you have a garbage disposal, you'll see a similar inlet in the side of the garbage disposal. When you're routing the drain line, you can either bring it up at least 32 inches and then back down into the drain. This is called a high loop setup. If you don't do this, you need to install an air gap, which is a device that installs on your sink up here, and what it does is it makes a break in the discharge line so that no dirty water can get back into the dishwasher. The discharge from the dishwasher goes up here, and then there's an air space up here, and then there's a hose that goes from here down into the sink drain right here. Some states require an air gap, some don't, but I'm using the high loop method, which does basically the same thing. It allows the water to go into the drain, but it minimizes the dirty water that goes back into the dishwasher. Check the dishwasher instructions and they will say whether you can use a high loop or not. The last step is to connect the hot water line. On your hot side angle stop valve, there should be an outlet here for the dishwasher. So we'll just connect this. To finish everything off, it's necessary to install this piece, which is called the toe kick. It's just held on by 2 screws, one on each side, and they're inserted into these slots. Before this is installed, though, it's important to run the dishwasher through a cycle or two and keep an eye on all the fittings underneath the dishwasher to make sure nothing's leaking, because you don't want your floor to be rotting without you knowing it. That concludes the installation procedure for my GE Profile dishwasher. Thanks for watching.